Running it back to the back to the back to the bank today. Running it back to the back to the back to the bank today. Running it back to the back to the back to the bank today. Running it back to the back to the back to the back to the back. Running it back to the bank today. Baby, I feel it relaxed today. Gotta go try to relax today. Whoa. Gotta fill out all my apps today. Cry from my...
Welcome to the DMVz Vibe Podcast. I am Miss Pink.
And I feel the swagger.
And I know y'all probably missed us last week. We weren't here due to technical difficulties. But we do want to start the show off with our special announcement. And we will be having a live audience taping on October the 18th from 12 to 4. The link will be on our Instagram. Plus, we will be posting it on all other platforms. It is limited seating. I want to tell y'all that right now. It's limited seating, so you want to get your tickets immediately. We will also have vendors on site. We're going to have guest panel.
Yes.
And we will be having an important conversation. Next month is going to be strictly about our ladies. We're going to have a generational conversation that covers womanhood, careers, social life, dating, just day-to-day. Yes. Dating, we talk about all the time. It's stressful here. It's not just in the DMV, I promise you, after living in another state. It's a struggle, and I think it's a struggle now at any age.
Yeah, definitely at any age. I have friends from all ages, and I have friends that are women in their 50s, successful women, and they're single. So it can't be all of us. It can't always be the ladies. That's all I'm saying.
No, because some of y'all are good actors, but we're going to have perspectives from everyone. We're so excited to finally be able to do this show. We've been talking about it now for a while. And so if you want to be a vendor, I also have a link for you to be a vendor or a sponsor. We are accepting sponsors, y'all. And so we are excited about that. Again, I will be posting it on all social media platforms. If you have any questions, Phyllis got a couple more days before she's back on social media.
Yes, I'll be back.
But she will be back for the month of October. She will be returning back to
Instagram,
us.
send me an email to let me know that I have 20 unread messages. So don't worry. We'll be responding to DMs come October 1st. Okay.
You can always reach out to the podcast page. Please keep it business or about the podcast. I'm not going to tell y'all that no more. But we are excited.
We're not interested.
Yeah.
Respectfully
and disrespectfully to some of y'all. Not interested.
We're not interested.
But today's show, we're going to be talking about something that is... I felt like it was really important as this administration has changed a lot for us as... not just as individuals, but as Black people. It has changed a lot for us because they're essentially trying to erase all of our history as far as removing things out of our museums and trying to make it seem like it was not that bad or
trying to make it
too long ago.
Slavery wasn't as bad as it really was. And it's ultimately, to me, it's just that the Euros that came over here, the whites, are trying to portray themselves as like these great people, and you were not. Let's just keep it a buck. And like I explained to my students, is that a lot of the things that we have gotten the rights, it has not been that long ago. There are people who are still alive who lived through segregation, who lived through all of those things. My mother and her siblings, they lived through that. And some of them are still here to tell the story. So
like Ruby Bridges, for example.
Ruby Bridges is still alive. Okay,
she's not even 80 yet. I think she's like 78 or something.
And me and some of these children's meemaws and pawpaws was out there talking about they didn't want her to be at their school with their white children. So I feel like that's part of the reason why they want to erase this, because you still have people alive who still live through that. But this is a part of the history of this country.
and understanding that though right now it's the Republicans that are in office in this administration, it's really about power, and we don't want anybody rewriting or trying to rewrite our stories, because imagine having a generation of people who just don't understand where they come from, the rights, or people who had to fight to give them the rights for things that they're able to do now. And that's why it's important too, as parents or adults in small children's life, is to have those conversations. Don't just rely on the school and teachers to teach your children about history. Please do your due diligence. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be talking about that today. And the feeling of being erased, where the money is being pulled from to do all of these different things, and how we can fight back to protect our culture for our kids and our future. We want to talk about how history is under attack. And it's really showing up a lot right now in 40 states. There have been attempts to restrict how teachers talk about race, gender, inequality. I'm not sure if, I know you shared with me that they have already banned some books when it comes to y'all in the school.
So the district I work with, we haven't really had anything where it's like everything has been completely like banned. We still have to, my school, they still try to be very inclusive, because, we still have to be very inclusive because I work in an urban area, and majority of the students that I service are actually Black and Latino. But we do see, especially in those Bible Belt states, especially the southern states, that they're banning books written by Black authors. They're banning books that help that are written by people from LGBTQ plus. I think I got all the letters, but they're banning those type of books from some of the school districts. But what I get irritated with, and this is just from the district that I work in, we still reading books about segregation. We're still reading a lot of books about the Black struggle, and I wish that the books that we would read will be more empowering to us, and not always about segregation. Like, I'm so sick of To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a great story because a lot of it still reigns true today, but it's just like, can we give glimpses of hope, of success when we talk about certain books? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the banning of the books, it really makes no sense to me, because that is how kids learn. They learn by reading different things, different topics. I haven't really seen anything where they like banned anything on the history books, not in this area particular, but definitely in the southern states, because Florida
is the main one.
Tripping.
Yeah. So the one thing that we can say is, one, this isn't the first time. It's nothing new. They've tried Reconstruction in the 1800s, where white supremacists rewrote history to make it look like Black people weren't ready for freedom or political leadership. And that lie kind of like shaped the laws, education, and stereotypes for multiple generations. And as I stated, we don't want to have children or a generation behind us, because they never learned about racism or segregation or any type of resistance, that they'll believe that it doesn't exist, when we can all see it clear as day.
When it definitely still exists in schools, and we know that racism is a learned behavior. So to have an administration to basically feel like that it doesn't exist, but they're literally racist, like outright racist, because you see the things that they're doing to the people in this country. But it's just, I feel like also some of these kids aren't interested. Like last year, I had a Latino student basically say she didn't care about Black history. And now the petty in me wanted to be like, well, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't even have some of the stuff that you have in this country. But I didn't do that. She's a child, so I didn't want to. We're not matching energy. Shout out to Tony Lee. But I think that is what we're also seeing now with this generation. Is you have different races of children who don't care and they don't feel like it's important to them. But yet we made sure to be inclusive to everybody because we have Asian American History Month. Right now it's Hispanic Heritage Month. So we make it the business to make sure that everybody in this country feels included, because regardless of what this administration is trying to push, every ethnicity and background of people in this country have actually made this country, have contributed to this country, and they need to be honored. Their stories need to be told, and we need to tell the truth and not make it seem like, if it's all white, it's all right.
Yo, and we don't even get a whole 30 days. Black History Month, we don't even get a whole 30 days.
29 on a leap year.
And so it's you can see it in small ways if you really pay attention that they have really tried to give us like the scraps of everything. Like trying to give us Juneteenth as a holiday. I appreciate it because, I'm off of work. But at the same time, you could have just paid us reparations for real. I would have been happy.
And then honestly, like, it feels like when it was amongst us, it was different. But then when it became commercialized, then it was like y'all took away like how the importance of it for us, because then it became a gimmick. And then, Tarjay, then they selling all this Juneteenth stuff. They selling, and it wasn't like you didn't do it because you actually cared about what that holiday or what that date meant to us as Black people. You only did it because you knew that you could monopolize and you could monetize, off of that.
And they getting hit hard. This year, I'm pretty sure they done lost millions and upon millions of dollars.
They had.
And
they
I know it's a couple of us still. Well, when I do that, I know y'all probably like, what's she doing? Yeah, well, it's a couple of us that I seen still, they still frequent the store in Target.
I still go to Target only for essentials because there's nowhere else truly for me to really, like, we don't have a bunch of stores in PG County to really go to. That's not going to be super expensive. And I don't like shopping where everything is locked up. Like, I can't, my brain can't fathom that. I went into a Dollar Tree the other day and they had the cosmetics locked up at the Dollar Tree. I was like, what is?
No, have you ever had to go, I don't remember where I was at for this CVS, but literally deodorant locked up. Like, I had to call somebody literally to get me everything I needed because everything was behind a glass.
Yes, and I don't like shopping like that because these sales associates be moving too slow and I be trying to get in and get out. So it's disheartening at the same time because it's like, come on, y'all, like this is what we're reduced to. But then you realize, like, if this economy or if this administration or this country, this government would pay people a livable wage, we wouldn't have to be going to these stores and deodorant and laundry detergent and stuff like that is locked up.
Bringing up a good topic is the economy. So if you're a federal government employee, y'all, we just going to have to hold on and see what's going to happen. I really don't think them people is going to pass that bill before Wednesday. So ain't no telling how long it's going to last, what we're going to do. But all I can say is just be mindful that it's not the first time. If we do have a government shutdown, it will not be the first time. Hopefully it doesn't last as long as the last one did. The last one was 35 days.
This government, just thinking about this administration, like, if we wasn't spending all this money, our tax dollars weren't going to J.D. Vance, going on vacations, that's all that man has ever done. Going on vacations, Then the man with the dead hand. Shout out to my Uncle Durian on the TikTok. I missed him. I can't wait to log back on. That's one of my favorite content creators. That's what he calls him, the man with the dead hand. He going to all these different appearances. So, like, our tax dollars are paying for all of these things. Instead of making sure that we have money to pay the people to effectively run the government.
And then you got senators sitting in seats for states that they don't think that it's really going to affect their state. I can't remember what state they said that man was from, but he didn't take it serious. He said he doesn't have that many federal workers that live in his state, and the report came out that was a lie. That state houses 42,000 federal government workers, so a government shutdown could definitely affect that state just as well as other states. There was a poll done back in 2021 where 62% of Americans supported teaching students about the effects of slavery and racism. Now, while I understand, I think it should be taught or structured a little bit differently, where it doesn't sound so depressing, where it tries to evoke maybe children to be, upset or try to treat other races a certain way. I do think it needs to be taught hand in hand with something that is uplifting.
I will say this as a teacher who is blackity black. My old school that I worked at, they used to call me Sister Soldier because I'm really. and I feel like I'm Sister Soldier finna come out this school year too. But I think the reality of it is history is not pretty. Like America's history, truly, it's not pretty. We cannot put a bow on it. We can't wrap it up in a pretty wrapping and make it sound so pretty and so nice because it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And I'm that teacher that's going to keep it a buck with the kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell them what really happened, what was going on, like, what was slavery about? Why did it happen? You know what I'm saying? Even down to 17 of our sitting presidents had slaves, okay? But they don't want to talk about that. So, like, and when we talk about racism and stuff like that, again, it's a learned behavior. And so, yes, when you're talking about the history of it, I do tell them, like, all of the white people that in our history, they all weren't bad. We had abolitionists, we had white people that were our allies, that were, on the right side of freedom. So I do explain those things too, but I think we really have to tell the kids the real truth. And yes, and then even with some of the books and stuff that we read, we let them know, like, it's sensitive content in these books. And I teach middle school. So there is sensitive content in some of the stories that we read, because there are subjects about abortion. Right now, we're doing A Raisin in the Sun. And if y'all are familiar with that book, y'all know Ruth, the wife of Walter, she goes and has an abortion, but she goes to... Y'all know back in the day, they used to go to somebody's house, and somebody used to, y'all say, if you've seen For Color Girls, you know what I'm talking about. And that's how they used to do the abortions. So, and then in To Kill a Mockingbird, I think his name was Tom Robinson. No, that was the dog name. But the black man was accused of raping a white girl. So, like, these are things that this is what these kids are reading. So, surprise, surprise. But also, it's like, we have to tell them, like, this is what you see, but we also give them, like, it's sensitive content, because some of them can't handle it, and then some of them make inappropriate comments. And so even for me, as someone that is a sexual assault survivor, when we get down to that part of the book, it irritates me, because it's just my own triggers, but also the how insensitive that the children are when it comes to that stuff. So when it comes to our history, like, we really have to hone in on them learning to be empathetic and have some sensitivity to what we are telling them, but we got to give them the truth. Like, you got to give them the real.
And understand that it could be you. It might not have been you, but it could be. It could be you. It could have been your mom. It could have been your grandparent, cousin, auntie, uncle, whoever. I think we do have to do better as a community of understanding, just because something might not directly affect us right now, to still be mindful and, as you said, empathetic to how it may affect us or others. One of the big things also tied into what this administration is doing is stripping away resources. So that kind of goes hand in hand with understanding our past and our history, and understanding that why the margins have changed. You know, they always saying everybody has the same 24 hours and the same opportunities. Yes, but there's also instances where if you come from a family that had money, a lot of them can just pay to get degrees. They don't even have to ever attend the school for a whole 4 years to get a degree. You have some people who are paying the colleges so that they can even attend the school. They're making a large size donations, which we see in a lot of movies. There are a lot of things that they put in movies. They try to say, oh, it's just a movie. It's not. Those things happen every single day. When we look at school funding, healthcare access, and even cultural programming, we're seeing budgets slashed in ways that hurt Black and marginalized communities the most. Education funding. I do truly believe if this man could just outright say he's not going to fund HBCUs, I think he would have them done away.
If that man could just say, I'm not funding the niggas, because that's really what he wanted to say. I know behind closed doors, we are all types of niggas, niggers, Negroes. We is everything but Black. I know we are. Can't nobody tell me we're not.
And it says HBCUs have been underfunded by at least $12 billion over the last 30 years. $12 billion.
It makes me think about when Deion Sanders was coaching, I can't remember what school it was. Yeah, and then also the man from Ed Reed. Just thinking about how underfunded the schools is, how everything was run down. And the crazy part about it is tuition is not cheap. It's not cheap. So again, now we are underfunded, but however, I'm a rope in us, as my grandma said. Because when I was in school, I went to a HBCU for 2 years, okay? Our president was embezzling money, okay? And that wasn't the first school that he embezzled money from. So I'm going to say this. Black people, when we get into these positions and we get this money, you're hurting us when you embezzle the money that is supposed to be for our future, for our kids. So it's like, yes, we're underfunded, but yes, it's no reason why my freshman year of college, we built a $1 million clock tower in the middle of the university. Yes. For what? We all had, at that time, smartphones was out. We could see the time to get to class on time. We didn't need that. It was probably something else that we definitely probably needed versus that. So even with the underfunding, we have to learn how to make it work and make do too, even with that. And also, I just don't feel like these presidents and these CEOs of these schools should be getting paid all this money. Like, why do y'all need to get paid $2 and $3 million a year to do what? Because y'all not the ones that's in the trenches.
Yeah, you're not teaching nobody.
Right.
All you're doing is overseeing.
That's it.
And making a couple of special announcements and appearances. I do want to say that, so it's not just in the schools. In 2023, at least 10 states moved to eliminate DEI. So we also know that was one of the things that was cut with this administration. But it affected public colleges, programs that support first-generation students, Black student unions, and cultural centers like community centers. The community-level resources include libraries. Libraries are losing funding in some states. And I do realize, because we are in a time where a lot of things are online and web-based, I do feel like the most people I see in the library currently are small children that are not school age, because they have a lot of stuff for them. And every once in a while, you'll see a couple of adults. I haven't been to a library recently where I've seen anywhere from middle school to high school age really be in the library.
Well, our kids, they go to the library because there's a library by my school, and I have taken my kids, to the library to do like different activities and stuff. So the kids do go to the library. Now, some of them going to the library for the wrong reason, because they want to fight versus to actually read a book. But we do have people utilize the library, especially in DC. I definitely do see some older adults that go to the library that may not have access to the internet or Wi-Fi at home. And then sometimes the homeless people, go in there during the day, I guess, to help find jobs and stuff like that. So people are in the libraries, but the libraries they're still important, for us to have.
I feel like we shouldn't get too far removed or be so comfortable and reliant on web-based books. I understand as adults it makes it easier for us to be on the go with it, but also understanding when you have small children, understanding the importance of reading an actual hardback book.
These kids don't like to read, and then they're very irresponsible. Like, I have kids they're like, can you hold my novel for me? No, I'm not holding a book for you. You responsible. You got homework anyway. You're supposed to go home and read, and then you're supposed to bring it back to class. Like, I'm not holding your book for you. That's crazy.
So along with libraries, you also have the community health centers that are closing. The study in 2023, Kaiser Family Foundation study found that rural hospital closures disproportionately affect communities and high Black populations. So without me saying specifically what area I live in, I'm just say that sometimes these local hospitals that are in our area are not the best for us. You may have a couple of good doctors at a specific hospital, but that's definitely, there need to be more community-based programs for low-income families. I know we talk about how important it is to take care of your health, not just physically, but mentally. But we also have to be mindful that healthcare is expensive.
It is very, very expensive.
It's $1 billion industry, and that's one of the things that are affecting the economy, is the price of healthcare keeps going up.
And medicine.
And the pay is not. Mm-hmm. For example, we're getting a 1% increase, but healthcare is going up 18%. So what is that 1% going to do for me? Nothing. Not a damn thing. I won't even see it, because it's going to be going towards what I have to pay for healthcare, since unfortunately that's something that is out of our control. But having healthcare is better than not having any at all.
The only issue is, it's just what are we paying for? You know what I'm saying? And even when it comes down to choosing healthcare, you really have to sit and see what are you going to get. Because even the healthcare that I have, if I had the lower level option, the surgery that I had, I wouldn't even be able to have it. And so that's another issue that we have, is yes, people have healthcare, but they still can't get the proper care that they need, because the health insurance is not going to pay for that. The health insurance doesn't cover this, or you got to pay this a certain amount deductible, which I had to do before they would cover whatever. It doesn't make sense to me, and I'm considered a federal government worker as well. I get they pick and choose when they want us to be federal, but so our insurance isn't bad, but it's just and we have options, but you got to make sure you find the right one for you. And then even talking about the hospitals, the rural hospitals that are closing as well, so this administration and the cuts that they have done to Medicare and Medicaid has really caused a lot of the rural hospitals and some of these clinics to shut down. And some of these red states that voted for this man, those are the ones that are affected the most. Because in the rural areas, you got to think about it, they don't have major hospitals. A lot of times they have small clinics. And then if it's something major to where they cannot service you at that small clinic, they either transporting you to the major hospital or they're flying you to the hospital. Like, there are parts of Virginia where my family is from. Like, if they can't service you in them little clinics, they're going to fly you out to like Fredericksburg or VCU or something like that to get to the hospital. But if you can't even make it to that clinic, you know what I'm saying? Like, that cuts your chances of life, or your chances of your life being preserved. So it's really sad to see how healthcare isn't truly about keeping us healthy. It's about making money.
Definitely about making money.
It's about making money.
I don't understand why I have to pay y'all to test my blood, the amount that I have to pay. Like, even with me having health insurance, I had a $300 bill for labs of them just drawing my blood. And just imagine what someone who doesn't have insurance will have to pay.
Yeah.
Like, the amount is outrageous.
Leading up to my procedure, I had to pay like almost $500 out of pocket for the stuff that now. One of the things was a requirement. Like, the insurance required you to do this, but you still had to pay. I still had to pay $200 out of pocket for something that you required me to do before I could actually have my full-blown procedure. That makes no sense. So,
also, SNAP and child care subsidies have been cut back, even though food insecurity is rising. What they didn't tell y'all about federal government workers is that most of us have a median income. Like, most of us we're here on the totem pole, even though most people who work for federal government are doing something to serve the community. So the people who sit and do nothing, who are in the background, I don't like to say do nothing, but their job is not equal to the pay that they should be getting, is what I'm going to say. Is because if you're just in the shadows in the background telling other people what to do, you don't have to worry about being face to face or, any type of customer service, dealing with the community or anything. But y'all are getting all the money. It makes no damn sense.
That's why you have a shortage in, especially like mental health workers, case workers, social workers, even in teachers. Now, I will say my district pays well, hallelujah. But I don't feel it because I don't have kids. So the government is snatching money because, they really hate single people with no kids in America. Why y'all hate us so bad? First of all, why y'all think we want to constantly take care of people's kids all the time? That's my biggest thing. Like, I don't mind help funding the schools and stuff, but as an educator, I feel like I need some type of tax relief because essentially, like, y'all snatching my money to put it back into the school or give it right back to us as in our salary, but then you taxing it. Like, I feel like y'all double dipping, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But
I ain't allowed to talk about that topic of taxes, so.
but when we talk about like food insecurity, my biggest issue that I have even with SNAP is the healthy options are not what should be rarely available. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of, especially in our neighborhoods, in our Black communities, we don't have a lot of grocery stores. You know what I'm saying? And in the grocery stores that we do have, a lot of them, like, you can get all the processed food, you can get 10 of these for $1. You know what I'm saying? This is 3 for $6, but it's not healthy. It costs so much in America just to eat healthy food. It's no reason why a salad from Wendy's is $10, but you can get a 4 for $4. Make that make sense.
$12 at Chick-fil-A.
Yes, I went and got a carb salad and a half and half, and I always get a cup of mac and cheese. Don't judge me. Small cup. And that was $17. And I'm just sitting here like, dang, I should have just went to the store and bought the ingredients to make my salad myself. And
still probably would have had some money left.
Right, exactly. So it's just like when we talk about the food insecurities, like, it's because people are not, first of all, they're not buying what they should. I'm glad they cut out like shrimp and crab legs and stuff like that, because no shade, but some people was eating better than me on food stamps, and I get up and I work hard every day for my coin. Okay.
During the pandemic, I worked for social services, and all I'm gonna say is the amount of money that Anne Arundel County recipients were getting, unmatched. And I'm pretty sure they was out here selling food boils and some more with their food stamps, because we're talking about there were some households getting over $1,100 for the month, which in retrospect, you probably like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have people who, y'all not going nowhere, it was the pandemic.
That part.
Y'all not going nowhere. So what are y'all stocking up on? Like, I'm for sure all them people that was selling plates, they was getting food stamps.
Had to.
And I ain't gonna lie, if I had food stamps right now, I'd be happy as hell. Because groceries is high as hell.
Groceries is high, and I've gotten to the point now where I literally go to the store the day that I'm going to cook a meal. So, like, if I, depending on, so I do meal prep, but then sometimes, like, I'll be like, I want this. So I literally just go to the store and get it that same day and then go home and cook it after work. Because, stuff, when you are just a single person, because of my dad, so I cook for me and my dad, but my dad don't always eat everything that I like to eat. But it's just like, you throw away a lot of food because you overcook sometimes. And then I'm the type of person, after about 2 or 3 days, I'm over it because I'm eating it for lunch and dinner. So then it's like, all right, I don't want this no more. Then I put stuff in the freezer and then I forget it's in there. So
waste a lot of money.
You waste a lot of money. Like, I really be getting mad. Like, I really just be throwing a lot of stuff in the trash. And then fruits and vegetables, like bad kale lasts 2 days. So you better hurry up and eat it, because everything goes bad so fast. So fast. Vegetables, everything go bad so fast, and I'm just like, why? Like, what are we really eating? Because it makes me think about back in the day when people was growing their own stuff. Like, they had to get stuff that lasted, and that stuff would last them throughout the winter and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, we have more technology to store things better, but they still go bad real fast. And so then again, that goes back to when we talk about the grocery stores in some of these black communities, they don't have them. And then also it makes me think about the Walmart that used to be, I can't remember what street it was on. Was it 8th Street? It was some Walmart. They ended up closing because people was going in there stealing. And then that's another thing. Like, if we pay people a livable wage, then they would be able to go to the grocery store. They'd be able to buy these things. But you got to put the livable wages in place, and you got to put these grocery stores in these neighborhoods. Because now, when the store closes, because people keep stealing out of it, now they got to go further out to get groceries. You know what I'm saying? And some people ain't driving. People walking and Ubering and everything else.
So I did this myself. When I moved from one city in PG County to another, I compared, because I was a avid Giant shopper. That was like one of my favorite grocery stores.
Giant's high as hell.
Yes, it has dramatically changed. So now I do go to Wegmans, even though I know Wegmans is a little bit high, but I want my fresher produce. The price difference from the two cities that I went in was drastically different.
Yes, I noticed that years ago.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, the one in Temple Hills, they is definitely doing some dirty work in the giant in Temple Hills because, one, I'm not saying that that's a poverty-driven city, but there's no reason why their food prices should be that drastically higher than the surrounding cities. I'm just gonna leave that there.
I've noticed this a while ago. I mean, this actually has been going on for years because this is a conversation that I had with my mother. So my mother was an avid shopper. Like Shoppers was her store. Mm-hmm. So it's a Shoppers in New Carrollton and it's a Shoppers in Largo. What they call it, Bowie. I don't know.
How they change it?
What's that over there? Lanham.
Lanham.
It's Lanham, Bowie, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that Shoppers over there with a Target and the new Ross is. If you go to the Shoppers in New Carrollton, it's cheaper than the Shoppers over there. Then if you go to the Shoppers in, I guess that's Largo, where the Marshalls is, they higher than the one in New Carrollton. So basically what Pink is saying, it's been going on. Like certain areas, it costs, even the gas. Like why the Royal Farms down here higher than the Royal Farms on the other side of town? Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like, do y'all feel like because in that area you feel like people make more money in that area than shop? Like, I just really want to know if it's a chain grocery store and y'all literally sell the same things. Why isn't there one set price? Why do y'all keep everybody changing the price and making the price whatever they want to make it?
And I even go for Sam's Club. Like, I do it with the comparison with the gas. The Sam's Club in Laurel compared to the one in Waldorf, it's like a 60-cent difference when it comes to gas. And then the food product, I'm like, y'all sell the same shit. It doesn't make sense. The price gouging, like, at this point, I think if we just all band together and complain, maybe they'll do something about it. Maybe we need to go on a strike or something.
I just wish that all of America would just come together and just not pay for stuff, because they can't evict everybody at once. They can't cut all out. Like, what they gonna do? Like, I just wish that we could come together, because that's the only way things is going to change. We going to have to stop shopping at these stores. I mean, you see what's happening with Target. Walmart probably be next, but like we just gotta come together, and especially as Black people, like our money makes a difference, and you see it because you see it in what's happening with these stores. It makes a huge difference, and so if we could just come together in that sense, and then the people that's in these offices and these positions for our county, help
Please.
us. Okay, we don't need another. Again, when we talk about grocery stores and food disparages, we don't need another tropical smoothie. We don't need another Royal Farms. We don't need another Chick-fil-A. Okay, we need groceries, like real grocery stores, and we need a whole, like, okay, we have one Whole Foods that I know of. Okay, but you don't have, that's over there in College Park. So that's over where the college kids are. We're on the Whole Foods and other places.
Right. I do want to say I'm going to even challenge myself. I haven't yet to go to, there's a Black-owned grocery store in Fort Washington that I am going to be trying out.
That's just so far for me to drive.
I'm close, but it still seems false to me because it's on the other side. Something about 210 just don't sit well with my spirit.
Yeah, I was riding down 210 yesterday. Didn't like it.
Yeah. USDA did a survey in 2023, and it said Black households are 2 times more likely to experience food insecurity than white households. It just shows that cutting resources doesn't just save money, it deepens inequality. So we're going to be talking next about the culture. There's been a shift in the language. Suddenly, diversity is being used as a bad word. Woke.
Woke is a new word for nigga to me. That's really what I feel like this administration is like. Oh, because they're woke. No, Negroes. It's us.
Mm-hmm. Politicians call racial equity efforts divisive. It paints our stories as dangerous instead of powerful. But we can start fighting back. I truly believe that They're solely about power right now.
That's all it is. It's all little dick energy. I'm sorry, it's no other way to put that. Like it really gives little dick energy. They're bullies. They're literally bullies.
Like America is really on the front stage, the world national stage, like just bullying everybody. And the fact that you're bullying your own people is still absurd to me.
And then the Megamites, they're being
angry.
bullied, but don't even realize that they're being bullied.
I don't understand why they still so angry. Like
Literally, like, okay, so this is so random that you said that, but I listened to it's another podcast that I listened to. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's 2 white women. They are hilarious, and they absolutely hate Trump. Like, that's their whole like train. But one of the ladies were like, these white men that are running this country, you have all the money you want, you have all the houses, you have all these things, but yet you're still angry. Why are you so angry? Mm-hmm. That's all I want to know.
I think I heard a snippet from one specific episode.
Yes.
Because it's literally they're winning by far.
Definitely.
And the fact that y'all are still angry, it really makes no sense. And it almost feels like anywhere where they see black people catching up or trying to catch up to them is the things that they're trying to eliminate.
They keep raising the bar, and we keep working hard to get to the bar. And then once we get there, they raise it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, first it was, oh, you needed a high school diploma. Then it was like, oh, no, everybody needs a bachelor's. So now we all got bachelor's. Then it's like, oh, no, you need a master's. And now we all got masters. And now you see jobs that are trying to pay you pennies with a bachelor's or a master's degree. No. A master's means that I know what I'm talking about, that I'm a master of my subject. So pay me as such. But they always find ways to keep raising the bar. And what we see right now with this administration, this is what mediocre white men get you. This is literally a mediocre administration. This is what we have right now. Like, when you think about all the people that were fired, think about removing DEI. And DEI isn't just about color. As someone who's a special education teacher, that is what DEI is. Mm-hmm. DEI is making sure that your child who has autism, who has an intellectual disability, that your child who's in a wheelchair, that your child who has some sort of disability or anything, that they are able to access the general education curriculum. That is what DEI is. It isn't just about, making sure all the blacks have what they need, and is it just about the LGBTQ? It's just not just about them, because these are the things that they're going after. They're going after black men and women. Well, they're always going after women. They're going after LGBTQ community. Those are the 2 things that they're going after. But DEI is not just about race and gender. And I think that's just not what they're getting. So this whole woke thing, like, y'all don't even make sense because y'all not using it correctly. Mm-hmm. Which really makes me mad, because DEI is the reason why I even have a job. Like, that's the point, is to make sure that everybody gets the services that they need when in school. So
yes,
sorry y'all ran over.
No, but I saw a TikTok of, it was like, I want to say they said it was like 70 different black families that put money together to buy all this land and like start their own community. I wish I could remember what state it was in. But it's just really understanding that if we make our own resources and community and we really learn to stick together. I mean, we know that we've tried to do it before in the past, and they've done everything to, as far as burning the neighborhoods down, and causing so much extra drama for us. It's
For no reason.
For absolutely no reason. There was another TikTok creator that says, imagine if we did leave this country and went to another country and we took everything that everything that Black people created or things that were made on behalf of us, that if we took all of that with us, what would the world be left with? What would America be left with?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. And it's just, it amazes me when you just think about how much they really have stolen from our culture and not even realizing that our culture is the reason why you even have what you have. Like, I'll never forget when Michelle Obama was basically talking about the house that she lived in when President Obama was president was built by Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, the house was built by slaves, built on the backs of Black. This country was built on our backs. And y'all hate us. And all we wanted to do is just leave us alone. Mm-hmm. Give us the same rights. Give us the same freedoms that you give everybody else, but leave us alone. And then even when we tried to build our own communities, like Pink said, y'all burnt it up. And Tulsa wasn't just the only one. Mm-hmm. It's plenty of cities in this country that were Black cities, Black towns that were flourishing. And they came in, they either flooded it out, Lake Lanier, mm-hmm. or they burnt it up. And it's just like every time we get something and we doing well for ourselves, it bothers y'all. Why are you so bothered? You have what you want. We just trying to get what we need for our community, for ourselves. But I'm also sick of these people with this white savior complex too. Okay? I get so irritated with some of these white people who work with Black children, Black people in urban areas, and y'all think like you're supposed to be like doing the righteous stuff because of what your ancestors did and all this other stuff. No, we don't need you in our communities with a self-fulfilling prophecy. Either you're going to be here to help us or you just need to get to stepping because you're in the way. Sorry. Ran over. My bad.
That leads us to our last fact, that Black audience influence over $1.6 trillion in consumer spending annually. Our culture drives global trends, and that's why it's so important that we keep it visible and authentic. So I'm going to pose questions to our audience. To record family stories, collect photos, and write them down. One thing that I've always kind of acknowledged about people who are from like different tribes, whether it be Native American or African, they always have someone who passes on that knowledge to the next generation. And I think when it comes to our families and communities, we should be doing the same thing. Support Black media and creators. Hey, like us. Support Black media and creators, independent outlets that are telling the truth when mainstream networks won't. What is that man's name? Why I can't remember. Never remember. Roland Martin. I do watch a lot of his shows, especially when it comes to talking about things politically, because he breaks it down and always has great panel guests on his show when it comes to really learning about community resources and politics. Showing up locally by going to school board meetings, voting in local elections. We talked about that with y'all before. How important, not just y'all presidents and y'all vice presidents, but you have the senators, the mayors, the governors, people in your local seats. We even had council member Reese on our show before for Glen Arden.
Shout out to him. I see him all the time at the gym.
I think he's going to be a good person to we have come back and do our
generation.
We also want donate or volunteer. That means supporting those local libraries, cultural centers, recreation centers, and mutual aid programs in your area.
I would definitely say, parents, please show up to these schools. and ask questions. But don't show up trying to be mean. Don't show up trying to blame the teachers. Like, really show up to understand what's really going on in our schools. Because I think a lot of times y'all wait until it's too late, or you wait until something happens. No, show up. Like, really show up. Really be involved. And please understand that I'm not a babysitter. I'm not a babysitter for 7.5 hours a day or 8 hours a day. Like, show up. Come to those. Y'all really need to go to school board meetings. Like, for real. Y'all really need to find out the funding and what's truly going on in these schools. Because I promise you that, yes, we do get paid well, but a lot of our money still goes back into our schools, still go back into our students, because we're paying for stuff out of our pockets. So,
yes, and paying attention to what's happening in your community. Just like before the casino MGM was put where it was put at, there was a vote that was taken. Not only was it something that was done locally in that community for that city, but it was also on our ballots when we voted for. I know a lot of y'all don't be voting, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Mm-hmm. But pay attention, because with everything that is happening around us and how many trees they keep knocking down to keep building these damn townhouses in Prince George's County.
We don't need any more. We don't have any more room.
Yeah, we are at capacity here, and they say I be watching the people down there in Texas say, "Don't nobody else move here." Shit, we are at capacity here, and if you don't have to deal with traffic, then you wouldn't understand. But we are at fucking capacity, okay?
Capacity, okay? We have no more room, okay? Stop knocking down these trees. Listen, I'm tired of saying Bambi dead on 295. Cause you wanna know why? Because Bambi don't got nowhere to go, okay? And then y'all want to bring this call center or whatever you want to do over here to Landover. No, make this useful. Like, we already got this damn stadium. Don't get me started on this stadium. We already got this stadium.
And you know they're not going to tear it down. Even when they move these people, they is not going to tear that shit down.
So it's just like, come on, leaders of Prince George's County. Even though a couple of them, I didn't vote for you. I wanted you not to be where you are. But anywho, come on, man. We get it together. Get it together. We are the second richest black county in this country, but yet we are struggling in so many different aspects. Mm-hmm. So we really need to get it together.
Yes. Our history is just something to be. It's not just something to be remembered. It's a roadmap for survival, and it really is. For our strength, mm-hmm. and understanding how to handle things, what our previous civil rights leaders did, how we can incorporate it and change the narrative and the conversation. Start showing up more, not just for ourselves, but for our communities. We are the culture, we are the history, and as long as we keep telling the truth, we cannot be erased.
And the reality of it is, like, it's us. It's our history. And what we're going through right now, we've seen this before. And that's what's crazy, is not to the extreme where we're basically walking into a dictatorship, but just the racism, the disparages. Like, we've seen this before. And so we have to really come together. And I know that, those of us the 92 percenters, we have taken a rest. But it's almost like now it's hard to rest, because you really don't know what's coming next. Like, I swear, like, every day I wake up and I'm just like, what the man said now? Mm-hmm. What the government doing now? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we still try to have a sense of normalcy, but you still live with those anxieties every single day because you.
It's disheartening to have to have our supposed leader of this free world talking badly about people who are sitting in other political seats, like Jasmine Crockett. because she is, not only is she talented, but she is very educated, very well spoken, and some of the words that have been said to her over the past week, I'm like, sis, we ready to fight for you. At this
I
point, we
haven't
ready
been
to
on
fight.
social media, so I don't know what's been said. But I'm sure when I get back on
Man,
and start scrolling on the tickety talk again.
basically, your president called her uneducated.
He can't even spell uneducated.
Yeah, that was the nicer version of what he said. But he basically called her uneducated. Then one of his followers, whoever Laura Loomers is, called her a black ghetto bitch. Yep.
And that's what y'all think. Y'all think all of us are black ghetto bitches. That's really what y'all think. That's why I fight so hard every day with these brown babies that I work with, these black babies that I work with, to let them know that we are bigger than that. We like, you can be who you want to be, and they gonna always talk about you, but you gonna go against that stereotype. I had that conversation with some of my colleagues the other day. I said, because people think, because I got multicolored hair and long nails, that I'm this ghetto female until I open my mouth and y'all realize I got a master's plus. Play with somebody else, please. Thank you. Okay, rant over.
And one thing I'll say about Fearless, like, not only is she educated and she's very well spoken, she's always herself. No matter where she is, she's always herself. I'm going to let Fearless go ahead and go first with our words of wisdom.
With our words of wisdom for today, well, just this overall episode, I know this is slightly something different from us, because I know y'all like, oh, we don't really touch too much on politics and stuff. But I really think that now in this day and age that we really need to hone in on what's going on. I'm not saying to sit in front of the TV and sit in front of news alerts and CNN and MSNBC all day long, but really hone in and to see what is truly going on. But also take time to really learn your history. Take time, if you still have elders that are still alive, record them, talk to them, ask them questions. I will say that for me, I learned some of the history on my dad's side. Like, I am related to some amazing people, some dope people, some people who served in wars, World War II, Vietnam. My dad was in the military. On my dad's side of the family, heavy military. But I take pride in knowing, like, oh, that's my cousin that did that. That, oh, I'm related to that person. So really take the time to learn your history. And as Black people, we really should take that time, because we are the people that we don't really know where we came from, but we know here in America, we know that we have lineage here. So take the time, talk to them, find out that history, learn those things. And I will say this for my words of wisdom. Me being off of the social media for as long as I had, it really made me realize that first of all, I'm not missing anything. And it allowed me to pick up other hobbies. Like, now I really do listen to other people's podcasts way more. Like, I have like 5 of my favorite ones that I listen to, and it allows me to kind of work on my craft, work on myself as a podcaster. So I will say, hone in, but also take some time to really disconnect. Like, this time I really disconnected. Really disconnect. Really start learning about yourself and reconnect with yourself. And I feel like for me, I'm coming out of this fast a better person, a different person, but in a positive way. Because this fast wasn't just about, me cutting off social media. Like, it was me finding other things to do to fill in those gaps, to fill in that time. So my words of wisdom for this week is just take time to be aware, but also take time to unplug. Really and when I say unplug, I really mean like unplug. Unplug from everything. Give yourself that moment. Give your brain a chance to rest, because I'm overstimulated all the time at work. I mean, y'all kids are overstimulating. I ain't gonna hold you. Traffic pisses me off. Like, my biggest ask right now of the Lord is to help me with my road rage, because my road rage is out of control. But what I realized with me really honing the unplugging is I really don't know everything that's been going on politically, right? Even though I'm getting ready to plug back in. But now when I plug back in, it's not a matter of I have to know. It's like, okay, I know what's going on. All right, now I've seen enough. That's good. And then I can disconnect. So remember, it takes 21 days to form a habit. So take that time to hone in, but also take that time to disconnect. That's probably an oxymoron, but but y'all get what I'm saying. But yes, enjoy the week. We are going into a new month. October's on the way.
And our seasons are coming.
Yes. So her birthday comes, and then my birthday comes. Big Libras. All right.
Speaking of which, y'all, I will not be here for the next couple shows because I will be celebrating a lot in October. But Phyllis is going to hold it down.
Yes, I have 2 special co-hosts. Next Sunday, I'm not even going to say who it is because I don't know if it's solidified yet. But if not, I do have a backup. But just know that, yes, I have two special co-hosts. It's going to be interesting, guys.
And, of course, we're going to have our live show next month on October the 18th. I'm so excited for this live show. Another thing is, we don't ever talk about what we're going to say for words of wisdom, but somehow we always just align. So for my words of wisdom, it's going to be protect your peace, even if it costs you access. Peace isn't free. It's something we choose and defend every day, whether it's saying no to drama, stepping back from social media noise, or letting go of relationships that drain you. Protecting your peace is a radical act of self-love. I would say we started off September with saying this is your season to reset, make new boundaries, and clear out any type of emotional clutter. I challenge all of our listeners to identify one thing or person that disrupts your peace and take a small step to protect your space this week. You also deserve a life filled with peace, clarity, and joy. We want to thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
We will see. Well, I won't see y'all.
I'll see y'all next Sunday and the Sunday after that.
Yes, next week I'm gonna go see Breezy, and then I'm going out of town for my birthday. But we can't wait to see y'all. Make sure y'all buy these tickets to come see us.
October 18th.
October 18th, we're going to have vendors and a guest panel. And we are looking forward to seeing y'all. Of course, I told y'all the link will be in our Instagram for the podcast page, as well as I'll be posting it on other social media. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.